All right, guys, good afternoon, and welcome back for another amazing episode of Real Deal Meetup on Periscope TV. It's your girl Queen, and we are here today in lovely Baltimore. Let's see who is on the line with us today. Let's see. All right, we got Taylor 257 just joined in. Hello, Taylor. Okay, I see Isha's on the line already. Beverly is on the line as well. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Super duper excited. So for all of you who actually saw the email, you know what this weekend is. This is More 2016. Are you guys ready? I'm so excited. If you're going to More 2016, make sure you double tap on the screen, give us some hearts. If you don't know about More 2016, we have an amazing event, 2-day event. No gurus, all gurus are going to be there, and I see V Stern as usual joined in. Thank you so much. Make sure that you share this episode on Twitter. If you do have your Periscope connected to your Twitter, we're going to have a super duper special amazing guest on here today. I don't think you guys were prepared for this one, so I'm just hyping it up a little bit. But More 2016, so on September 10th and 11th, we just have like all the masters. We have the systems queen, we have Kevin Jackson who's coming in, Valerie Scott, of course we have Charles Blair, the mad scientist himself, who's going to be there. So it's just going to be amazing, so make sure you come. And Teresa Murphy just joined in as well. Thank you so much. I see Malik, Mastermind Members United, in the building. All right, guys, so we're about to get started with today's episode. If you did see the actual title, you know it is entitled How to Get a Seller to Pay You to Buy Their Property. Yes, and also just to let you know, we're on Periscope as well as Facebook Live. So all of you guys who are on Facebook Live, you can catch this replay again if you're not on Periscope. Hey Malik, make sure you share this on Twitter if you have your Periscope connected to your Twitter. And guys, we are at 78,000 hearts. Couldn't be possible without you all. 78,000, yes. So what you're going to do today, you're going to double tap the screen and you're going to heart it up, because today's guest that we have, who is going to be talking about this spectacular property, I know we go over all these different types of strategies, but dun, 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 we have the mad scientist himself who's going to be breaking down how to get a seller to pay you. I'm pointing at you, and whoever is doing 1,000 hearts in there. Thank you so much, 410 Mont, for just joining in. And make sure you share this on your Twitter as well if you have your Periscope connected to your Twitter. Thank you guys so much for all the Real Deal members who are on the line. So Charles Blair himself is going to be breaking this deal down. So I don't know how big of a deal you guys think this is, but this is a pretty big deal for me. So I'm excited. All right. And hello to everyone on Facebook Live as well. I'm sorry I'm giving Periscope all the love, but now we're going to go to the man, the myth, the legend himself and do an actual walkthrough of this property. This deal is super fantastic. 2 of our mastermind members, actually, shout outs to them, and thank you so much, Dwayne. I see the share on Twitter. We appreciate it. 2 of our mastermind members themselves, Tamika and Darrel, they actually got this deal. This deal, like, I'm actually kind of like, okay, where do I find one of these at? But this is like an amazing deal that they got. So let's go ahead. We are going to talk to the mad scientist and break down the numbers on this so that you all can actually do this yourself. So Mr. Blair, are you ready for us? Is ready for us. Hey, how are you doing there, superstar?
Hey, yeah, right. How's everybody doing today? I want to first of all thank you guys for taking time out of your schedule. Like Queen said, this is a unbelievable deal. I can't take credit for it. All I did was to help my mentoring students get through the deal itself, but this is actually one of the deals that one of my mastermind students, Darrel and Tamika Blair, has already closed on. So it's not under contract. They've actually already closed on the deal. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and walk through the property. The first thing I want to tell you guys about, Queen mentioned that we do have the workshop coming up this Saturday and Sunday. Yeah. If you go to more2016workshop.com, that's more2016workshop.com. You can go ahead and grab your tickets. Now, back to this deal. As an investor, most investors look at deals and they say, if it doesn't fit as a wholesale or doesn't fit as a rehab or doesn't fit as a buy and hold, then it's not a deal.
Yep.
one of the things I want each and every one of you to realize, that you're not a wholesaler. You're not a rehabber. You're not a buy and hold investor. If you really want to conquer this business, you want to be what's called a transactional engineer. And that's what I do with my mastermind students. I teach them to not just look at a deal and put yourself in the prism of one box, but look at the 5 or 6 or 7 different exit strategies you can have with a deal. Keep in mind, the average investor that looked at this deal, and we're going to go over the numbers after we come from the inside. The average investor that looks at this deal would have walked away from this deal hands down. They wouldn't have done anything with it. So let's go ahead and walk through the property, and we're going to do a quick walkthrough, see what the property looks like right now, and then I'm going to go through all the numbers. Once again, this is not one of my deals. This is one of my mastermind students' deals, Tamika and Darrel Blair. So let's walk through the property, and we'll see what it looks like. Come on.
Awesome. Charles, just to let you know, there are about like 10,000 hearts on the screen right now, and everybody's shouting, "Hey, Charles!" I don't get that kind of love, guys, when I'm on Periscope. No, I'm joking. All right. This is really nice.
Yeah, these guys are doing a fantastic job. Got the recessed sliding hardwood floor.
I love it. Hey, Natasha, just so you joined in. Thank you, guys. Keep the hearts flowing. We're going to be at 80,000 at the end of this. Yes.
Look at the kitchen.
Oh, wow. Wow. This is, yes, double tap that screen. Look at this kitchen. This is amazing.
Now, we've also, on this first floor, they made a bedroom through this walk-through area.
Okay.
Where it's not actually a dining room, or could be a bedroom, however you want to make it.
Gotcha.
Because it has a closet, and it also has the actual walk-in bathroom.
Gotcha.
So it's actually 4 bedrooms, 2 full baths.
Oh, awesome.
Let's go upstairs. Watch your step.
Get in that, okay? Smokey just joined in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I say Eve just joined in as well. We're going upstairs inside the property. For those who just joined in, this is the Real Deal Meetup on Periscope TV. Real Deal Meetup. We are the 3rd largest meetup in the nation. For all of you who don't know, so go on BeRealDealMeetup.com if you want more information on us. And thank you so much, Acon Fest, for just joining in as well. All right, cool.
That's one of the bedrooms. And you got another good sized bedroom here.
Nice.
Notice the little accents, the 6-panel doors, the ceiling fans.
Yeah, guys, you definitely have to pay attention to that. That's the little detail that makes a property.
You're going to also have a laundry room up here.
Oh, okay. Now, how much would you say a laundry room adds value to a property?
I think it adds significant value when it comes to the aesthetics of the actual homeowner, what they think in terms of value.
Gotcha.
Now, in returns to a dollar amount, it's going to be on the low end. I think you're looking at more in the neighborhood of 5 to 10,000 neighborhood-wise.
Okay.
When we talk about a laundry room.
Gotcha. And this is the final bathroom. Okay, awesome. And they are hard at work today. We're getting this house together. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it.
So let's go up front and then break down the numbers, because that's where the magic comes into play.
It is. So for all of you who don't know, like Charles said, if a regular, person looking at a deal just from a box was to look at this, they would have walked away. But man, Tamika and Darrel, they got themselves a slam dunk winner right here. So Charles is gonna break it down for you guys today. I'm excited to learn about these numbers too.
Yeah. Now, think in terms of, like we talked about, thinking outside the box. If you are that investor and a homeowner calls you up from one of your deals, by the way, this deal came about from a direct mail campaign. We have a mailing list of vacant properties and properties that vacant property owners.
Okay.
And we sent that out. My mastermind students sent that out to the vacant property owner.
Okay.
Owner called them back. The owner said, okay, I'm not going to take anything less than $140,000.
Okay.
Now the only problem is the neighborhood only sells for $145,000. So the average investor who looks at that deal will try to get the owner to go a little bit less, but they don't go any further in regards to questions. Every deal has the answer to how you should buy it. You just have to ask the questions to get that answer to how you should buy that deal.
Right.
One question. Well, is there a mortgage on the property? No, there's no mortgage on the property. Right away. There's no reason why there isn't a deal here. Even if the seller wants a full price offer. So let's break down the numbers. The seller started off at 140. The value is around 145. We wind up giving the seller 133. Why? Because the property is free and clear. So the way we structure the deal, and this is where the magic comes into play. You see the smile on my face.
We see.
The way we structured the deal was to give the seller $70,000 down, and they hold a $63,000 note for 5 years with a balloon payment.
Wow.
So the note is secured as a promissory note, not as a note that goes on the property. So which means that collateralization, that note, can now be put in a drawer, and you still have a property that's only $70,000 that you got from the homeowner. Because remember, you gave the homeowner $70,000. So once the homeowner goes to closing, which we did about 2 weeks ago, they went to closing on this property. The amount of work that's required in this property is around $7,000.
Wow.
Now, here's another great part. The homeowner purchased this property by paying all cash, and the house was already totally rehabbed.
What?
In February, they purchased the house totally rehabbed. So basically, all my students are doing right now is doing the cosmetic punch-out work. New paint job, new plates on the actual electric plates and so on. They're just doing punch-out stuff right now. The plan is to finish the punch-out. We're going to also build out one part of the basement so it's finished, so we can get the higher value.
Got it.
So we're putting in a total of 7,000, 8,000 tops. So the plan is finish this work off, put the property back on the market, and sell the property for 140. Here's the magic. When you sell the property for 140, none of that money has to go back to the seller.
Wait.
Because you have a 5-year balloon where you have to pay the seller off in 5 years.
Wow.
So that full 140 minus your repair costs, minus your financing, goes all in your pocket.
Wow.
So my students, Tamika and Darrell, they're going to put about $70,000 in their pocket that they can use for 5 years to do other deals, to help with marketing and so on. That's how you get the seller to pay you to buy their property.
Charles, I think you just like slam dunked the interview. Like, I don't think you got the hearts flowing. Everybody's like, this is my type of deal. I don't think there's any need to go further. Like,
well,
this is...
I just want you guys to understand, anytime you have a deal where there is no mortgage on the property, you just have to pull the creative juices out. You just have to say, how can I structure this deal to make it a win-win for both parties? The seller wanted quick cash. They wanted that large lump sum, but they didn't need the whole 140,000.
Right.
So we just factor in what they needed, gave them what they needed up front,
Right.
and then structure the remaining balance over years to be paid off.
Okay.
Now, here's another play. You owe the seller now the remaining balance. There's no reason why when you sell the property in 2-3 months, because that's what our plan is. Once we put it on the market, we're looking at about a 30 to 45 day sale. You can go back to that seller and renegotiate the note and say, oh, by the way, Mr. Seller, I just came into some extra money. I would love to give you $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 for the remaining balance of your note. Will that work for you? So the price was 133. If you renegotiate the note earlier, you could easily knock off another 20.
So true.
So now you've gotten a total of 30,000 in your pockets.
Wow.
So the key to this deal, once again, anytime there is a clear and free property or property that have a low mortgage balance, there's a structured financing solution to that deal. Don't think in terms of, oh, it doesn't fit a wholesale deal.
Right.
I don't know how I'm going to rehab it. Getting a zero interest or a loan from your seller for 5 years can be just as good as making $50,000 today. Because why? Because the money you get from that seller today can be turned over 3, 4, 5 times in 5 years.
Now,
that's the key.
I have a question, because you said you had to put the $70,000 down. It needed about $7,000 in work. For someone who doesn't have that money, where would they be getting this money from?
Well, let's put it like this. The member in the mastermind, we have lenders that we work with in our mastermind.
Okay.
So the student actually got the loan from one of the mastermind mentors.
Dun, dun, dun.
So the student didn't have to come out of their pocket with anything.
Wow.
They got the money to put down, that's how good of a deal this was, from the actual lender in the mastermind.
Wow.
So the other answer to that deal is, if you're not a part of the mastermind, of course you can get the money from some other hard money lender or some private financing partner.
Okay, I think that's when, you know, when we see all these commercials and they're like, get into real estate, no cash, no credit. Are they talking about this type of deal, Charles?
Well, that's the problem. Most investors or so-called gurus don't teach this kind of stuff.
Right. So
they
true.
teach the wholesale, rehab, buy and hold, not the creative stuff.
Exactly.
When you're a member of the mastermind, when you're a member of, in fact, when you come to this workshop on Saturday, you'll see the creative side of the business. That's what I try to get you guys to understand. You want to be that transactional engineer and not put into that one box.
So true. Now, I have my biggest question when I heard about this deal, because this deal is very fascinating to me, and I'm actually going to attempt to copy this like tomorrow. But why would a lender lend on this? Like, you have this promissory note, and I want everybody to get the difference between the promissory note and the note being put on the property.
Right.
Because they can sell this, right, in about 2 or 3 months once it's completed.
Well, they're going to sell it, and like I said, the work is projected to be finished in about a week or so.
Oh.
So once the work is done, they're going to put it on the market to sell.
Okay, got it.
The difference between a promissory note and actual note secured by a mortgage is the fact that the promissory note isn't secured by anything. It's just secured by the name of the note holder.
Okay.
So there's no security of collateralization on this property. So why would a hard money lender or a lender lend on this? Because when they lend, they're going to be in the first position.
Wow.
They're not in the second position.
So true.
So just like any hard money loan, they want to be in the first position of the mortgage.
Got it.
That's the reason why lenders, private financiers, and so on will jump at a deal like this, because they maintain the first lending position.
Boom. I don't think you guys got that because it's not enough hearts flowing on the screen, but that was so major. That's so major. Wow. Okay. All my wholesalers on the line, I hope you're taking notes because this is crazy. All right. Now, what are the benefits of structuring like a creative deal like this as opposed to, you know, somebody trying to do this as a wholesale deal, which I really don't see this even working as necessarily a wholesale deal, or some other type of strategy, which is, you know, kind of like a cookie cutter strategy. Like, what is the benefit of using this creativity?
I'll do it even better. I'll give you the pros and the cons.
Okay.
The cons is this. You have to be disciplined. You're going to get this large lump sum of money that you have to pay back in 5 years.
Right.
If you waste that money, now you got a loan due in 5 years that you have no way of paying.
So true.
But if you're disciplined, if you're going to take that money and multiply it, quadruple it, and so on, that's the pro of this deal. Okay. Not to mention zero money down. It didn't take any money down for them to do this deal. So yes, this is a zero, no money down type of deal.
Right.
As an advantage to wholesaling, rehabbing, buying, and holding, I look at this as another tool in your toolkit.
Mm-hmm.
As that transactional engineer, you need more than one exit strategy.
Yes.
You need to look at a deal and say it fits into this pond, and this pond. If you only have a deal that fit into one pond, then you're only limited to the possibilities of that income from that one pond.
So true.
So when that pond dries up, your business will dry up.
So true.
So I want each and every one of you guys that's on this Periscope and on Facebook Live to master a strategy. I'm not telling you to go out and try to be an expert of everything, because we know how that's going to turn out.
Right.
You're going to not master anything, and you're not going to do any deals. You're going to just be running around buying the next best course and so on.
Right.
But if you master wholesaling, and then you add another tool, then you add another tool, buying and holding, you add another tool, lease options, you add another tool, tenant placement. So when these deals come to you, you can look at all these different tools that you have in your arsenal and say, it doesn't fit my deal, but I can send it to this person and make $5,000. I can send it to this person and make $3,000. I can send it to this person and make $100,000.
So true.
That's how you want to look at your business. Even if you don't know all the strategies, familiarize yourself with your market of experts, your individuals out there that are doing wholesaling, buying, holding, rehabbing, and so on, so that when something doesn't fit your tool, you can figure a way to make a profit off of that deal, regardless. Because that's what's going to make you eat day after day after day.
So true. Now with this $70,000 that they're going to be profiting within no time, if this was you doing this deal, what would you do with that $70,000?
Oh, that's easy. I'm looking in terms of, one, marketing, because your business, and I want you to write this down, guys. You are not a real estate investor. You are not a real estate professional. You want to be in the mindset of being a marketer. That's what your hat you should wear it should be. What should you learn most importantly? How to market. Because when you know how to market, there's no limitations to the profits you can make. You can take your marketing hat in Houston, Ohio, California, Maryland, DC, Virginia, and market your way to success. So part of what they're going to be using the money for is to rev up their marketing campaigns.
Okay.
That's the first part of it. The other part of it is other deals.
Okay.
When you can leverage 10,000 here to get into a deal, 10,000 here to get into a deal, 10,000 here to get into a deal. Now you have 3 deals that you've gotten into with $30,000. That wasn't money that you had at all.
Exactly.
So you leverage the portions of those profits into other deals. And that's the true nature of real estate investing. It's about building leverage to an income that gives you the conclusion that you're trying to receive.
So true. So now for the audience members, you know, we stated in the beginning, for those of you who just joined in, I see that Tony joined in, Teresa just came back in, a couple of other people. Thank you guys so much for the hearts. You guys been crazy with the hearts. We appreciate it. But they found this through doing a direct marketing campaign.
Correct. This was a direct marketing campaign to vacant property owners.
Vacant property owners. And how long did it take? 3 weeks?
It actually took 3 weeks. There was only members of the mastermind for 3 weeks. So after week 2, we usually start our mastermind members off with marketing.
Okay.
So by week 3, this deal was being negotiated. We were structuring it. By the end of week 4, they had it under contract. 2 weeks ago, they closed on it.
I've never seen anything like that. Okay, so now for members of the audience who want to find a deal like this, what would their strategy be? Doing the same thing in terms of the marketing?
Well, think in terms of the numbers.
Okay.
There is none. So, what strategy should you go after? Properties that are free and clear or low mortgage balances.
Okay.
That's your key. So if you throw in other targeted metrics, how about absentee owners, free and clear properties in a particular zip code where you know they're selling?
Right.
That's 3 levels deep. That's your metric that you'll use as you decide on who you're going to target. The key to this deal is 0 to no mortgage balance.
Right. Okay, got it. So 0 to no mortgage balance. So if you guys are targeting anyone, that was the key thing with this deal, because the homeowner, they don't have a burden that they necessarily have to pay off. They
Correct.
can be as creative as you want to be with them.
And remember this, as the investor, never think that you're convincing a person to sell their house. All you can do is convince the person to sell the house to you. So that's where the rapport came into play on this.
Right.
Because you're not going to convince anybody to sell you their house.
Right.
But you can convince them to sell it to you. And you can also, and here's the key, you can also get people to trade equity for peace of mind. And that's what's going on here. That person wanted out of this deal. They wanted to work with an investor because they wanted to close quick.
Got it. Okay.
And they was willing to trade the short-term equity of a quick sale for full price for long-term, so they can get that $60,000, $70,000 in their pocket right away.
Got it. Now that is something very crucial that you mentioned, because they had to build that rapport with her. So what were like some of the strategies, or even if it wasn't a strategy, even if it was just like Tamika and Darrell just being genuine, like how did the homeowner trust them enough to complete this?
One of the things I teach all my mastermind students is to listen twice as much as you speak. Be a good listener. We also do something called the mimicking exercise. So, for example, if a person talks with a drawl when they speak, you'll talk with a drawl when you reply back. If the person talks fast, you talk fast. If the person talks slow, you talk slow. People like to do business with people who they look and act as if they do.
Right.
So I've even been known to have a little southern slang in my voice. When I'm talking to people that have a little southern slang in their voice.
I like it.
So mimic that person's mannerism. Mimic that person's tonality. When you do that, subconsciously, because we're talking about neuro-linguistic programming now, NLP. So when we're talking about NLP, you're talking about putting your mind or that person in the mindset that they can't help but say yes to you. For example, when you're talking to a seller and you say, Mr. Jackson, is this a good number for you? And you see me shaking my head, having the seller shake their head automatically puts them in an agreeable mind.
Wow.
So those types of things that you do when you're talking to sellers in person and on the phone can go a long way to building rapport.
Wow, you just helped somebody close a deal today. I just want to let you know. So guys, I see who's on the line. If anybody closes a deal today, you need to send Charles a thank you note, because he just gave you one of the major tips that helped me close a deal like last week. So, okay, cool. Now, for those people who are not mastermind members as of right now, but they want to learn more about strategies like this, can you please give them the information for More 2016 this weekend if they haven't registered?
Absolutely. We have about 20 something seats left. We already got 88, 90 tickets already sold. Just go to more2016workshop.com. That's MORE 2016workshop.com. And there you can get information and see all the details about the speakers and everything, who's going to be there and so on. We got about, I think it's about 15 different speakers, 6 different classes. We're going to be going over short sales, bank REO investing, creative financing. We're going to be talking about notes. We're going to be going over commercial investing, what's working now in various markets. We got this one guy that's coming in from Jacksonville, Florida. He is what we call an international investor. So he's going to talk about how he's investing all around the world. So this is going to be the premier event, and we're going to also cover creative structuring and creative financing by one of the best, and that's all I'm going to say, one of the best guys in the business when it comes to creative structuring.
All right, a little suspense. That's cool. That's cool. I don't even know some of the people, guys, so please do not ask me. Do not email me, because Charles didn't even tell me. I don't know everything. I don't. So you got the website on how to connect with us this weekend. If you have any additional questions, I mean, Charles is one of the most supportive mentors that I can say I've had in real estate thus far, so he'll definitely be able to help you if you have any additional questions. And thank you so much. I'm like super excited about this. Like, guys, do you see this house? And how only $7,000 in repairs?
About $7,000 to $8,000 repair. Because remember, the property was recently rehabbed in 2016 in February.
Wow.
So it's only 6 months of living in the property. So we just basically have to do punch out work. Everything in the property is new: floors, kitchen, heating system, electrical system, plumbing. Everything is new.
Wow.
So to just basically punch out work, do some carpeting, and then we also plan on boxing out a little bit of the basement so we can have a partially finished basement. And that's what's going to be done here.
Awesome. So guys, everything that you saw on the inside, it's pretty much just being freshened up right now. Like, this is an amazing deal. It was not that much work in terms of labor for the rehab.
Which brings to a good point before we close. I don't want anyone on this Facebook Live or on Periscope to think like, well, I would never do that type of deal. You're not the buyer. You're not the seller. We're not looking for you to do that type of deal. So don't put yourself in the place of that seller.
Right.
A lot of investors make the big mistake of saying, well, I wouldn't do that deal, so I'm not going to ask the homeowner about that.
Right.
I'm not going to ask the owner to do subject to. I'm not going to ask the owner if they do a lease with option to buy.
Right.
I'm not going to ask the owner for owner financing because I wouldn't do it.
Right.
That's the biggest mistake you can do, is to put your values and the way you would do something in the middle of a deal.
Got it.
Think in terms of what you need from that deal and ask that seller for what you need. Remember, as an investor, my last point, the key to you being successful is learning to be comfortable being uncomfortable. That's it.
I think that was a perfect sign out note, guys. So thank you again so much. We truly appreciate the heart participation. You guys are going crazy today with heart, so we probably have 80,000 by the end of this episode. That is cool because it is Charles, so that is fine. But thank you so much once again for tuning in this Thursday for Real Deal Meetup on Periscope TV. This is your girl Queen signing out with Charles Blair, the mad scientist himself.
And we're out of here.
See you next week.